Oh.
You want to hear something real funny? I forgot to turn the fucking microphone on because I changed all the buttons around.
So we did all that absolutely silently. We're responding to something no one else heard.
But for those of you who are joining us, seeing us here, make sure that you check out Thunderscape. Look down in our panels at art. Thunderscape made all these pretty pictures of all these characters here. And so I done made them into a big overlay. Look at this, isn't it fancy? All right, let's do a show.
All right, thank you, Marty. The lack of sleep is showing, and thank you for the effort. I know Thunderscape will be. I can hear her squealing in my head right now. So thank you very much for using that. And welcome to the new year. We will write off that technical difficulty at the beginning. Oh, no, wait a minute. We don't have to. There's always a technical difficulty at the beginning. We don't have to make an excuse for this one. We'll just move on. First show of 2020, we have a new overlay. We have the same wonderful players, my co-storytellers in a slightly new order. So let's start with that. It's the new year in a new order. We're going to start off with Ryan as Baptiste. Over at the far end, Miss Ellie, played by Hannah. And down below, we have Alice, played by Sarah. Jett, played by Sky, and Lucius, played by Lesimax. And me, Kevin, up here in the corner, running things. So it's been 3 very long, very non-roleplay weeks since last we met. So a quick... First of all, there was a bunch of things we didn't talk about in that episode because we were avoiding them because it was the holiday season. So I'm going to start by recapping those real quick. Miss Alice has been confronted with her true identity, and it is not what she thought it was. Miss Ellie is carefully avoiding an issue because it's complicated and bizarre and strange, and that's perfectly reasonable. Lucius prepared to bury and then did bury, with some assistance, 29 bodies, I think it was, yesterday, before going to a party where you weren't allowed to mention the dead. Jett got a job offer. If breaking into somebody's house illegally can be considered a job offer. Baptiste's true identity became known to the group at large. The 6-gun saint walks amongst you. So that's what they missed if they missed 2 episodes ago. Last episode, we had a party. We had a fair. The town of Paradise apparently does this when it's had too much death and destruction. They organize these carnivals where it is all fun and joy and nobody's allowed to talk about the dead. And during this carnival, strength machines were broken. Many fake ducks were killed very ferociously. I think 8 of them all in a row. Booths were destroyed. Prizes were given. Special prizes were given. Dates were attempted to be set up. Other attempted dates ended poorly. And in general, a good time was had by all. At the end of that, we all made our way back to the inn. And unless there was anything you wanted to do serious before we go to bed this evening, we'll have a sort of a drunken snooze in most cases and wake up in the morning. So, the morning after, you wake up to the banging of hammers and saws. Looking out the window, because your rooms are on the 2nd floor, you can see they're taking down the hoarding around the train. They're taking down the hoarding around that destroyed block. From this view as well, you can also see the train still laying across the end of town. The bar is almost 100% built. There's still, you see things like trim on the windows. You see suddenly sort of appear out of nowhere and drift across and click next to, the shutters coming back one at a time in the blinds. Things like that, but it's 99% done. The tent city has pretty much doubled in size because there's nowhere else for these people to stay. Huge chunks of this town have been taken out by the train and by this attack. And even with all the dead, there's still no place for everybody in houses. So some of them are in this tent city. The mountain is still on fire behind you. And with that, breakfast is served. What would you like to do?
Eat.
Get over my hangover.
Yep. Yeah, you guys, those that drank are a little shaky because it's good Western whiskey and you were drinking last night. So
Laugh
Triple
at
X.
Lucius, who is hungover.
Triple X.
Some strong coffee.
yeah, lots of coffee, lots of water,
I'll have what he's having.
lots of greasy bacon and eggs. Help settle that stomach. He said from long experience.
I'll do the egg white scramble with feta and spinach.
And the favorite thing I've ever seen on a menu, baked cookie dough,
Ooh.
which, if I'm not mistaken, is cookies.
No, it's very different. Very different.
I prefer it unbaked.
Oh, me too. But you're not supposed to. Anyway,
You can if it's vegan.
It's cookie dough with cannabis.
I'll definitely have some of those.
the problem with that is the munchie circle that you get into. Yeah, never mind. We're not going to talk about that. Back in paradise, in the nice, wholesome town of paradise, where whiskey is our only vice.
Haven't we killed people?
Yeah, murder.
Okay.
Alright, don't worry about that.
Is that really a vice? Hasn't it all been in a very good cause?
Good cause murder.
But we enjoyed it.
Okay, that is definitely a vice.
Yeah, I saw what Miss
You hadn't
Alice
actually
did.
said that out loud before.
How's those
You shut
boobs,
up, Jett.
by the way?
Keep your little mouth closed.
3 weeks off. Whee!
Yeah, we got some. Let's just chat. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Jett, you have a job. The sheriff asked you to have a look at Mr. Martin for forgery of something or other, and he asked you basically, very politely and with just enough plausible deniability to cover his own ass, he asked you to break into the man's house and see if you could find evidence. He also asked you not to get caught because he didn't want to have to arrest you.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. He just asked you to do it. He didn't, it's not required.
You even getting paid for it?
I get
He's-
paid
he's- Yep.
in knowing that I did a good, honest.
So
He
that's
gets
a
paid-
no.
Yeah, well, he gets paid in the way that everybody in this game kind of deals with money, which is it just kind of happens.
I get a place to sleep that isn't
He-
the hotel. I'm saving.
And he
my
does. I
money
mean,
that
he
way.
is getting paid. He is the not the marshal, but he's the deputy. So there would be a salary associated with that. In fact, I think, well, your bar burned down, so you don't. Miss Alice is still trying to claim she doesn't need the money. So
Still never got
yes.
my check from that first story.
Nope.
that
No,
we
you never
set up.
did.
I got a raise.
That's because your
Cool.
daddy's broke. Remember, I took away that money and gave you
That's
the.
not my fault.
Yeah, no,
No, it was
absolutely not.
His fault.
Nope.
He
Yep.
made a dumb move. Okay.
Yes, he did. Yep.
So what I'm hearing is I'm one of the very few employed people at the moment.
Apparently, yeah, you and Lucius. He is now, after being the last one to get a job, he is now gainfully employed. as
My
the
place got a
undertaker.
train through it, so.
Yep. Yeah, it's almost fixed, though. Almost fixed.
Oh,
Yeah, but
that'd
would-
be a fun place to work right now.
Mm.
Oh, good family.
Yeah,
so-
just you and Charlie sitting in there waiting for the first customer to walk in.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
awkward at
that
all.
won't be awkward.
Baptiste, are you like drawing off a retirement, or how does that work?
I believe the retirement plan in the 1770s was die young. I believe that was how you prepared for retirement in the day.
Well, he lost that chance, so.
Yeah, well past that.
Not for lack of
So-
trying, it would appear.
The town is yours.
Independently wealthy.
So, you think we should explore a few things that we kind of like been sweeping under the rug? Just an idea, you know.
How about the guy
Rainbow
that's
fire?
trapped in the mountain?
Yeah, there's that. Then there was that mist incident with the guy with the chainsaw, mechanical stuff. Then we have like that train's still there.
Yep.
It's still there.
Yep.
I think
still
Willie's the
steaming.
only one who investigated it, really.
Yep. Yeah, and what he found, none of you know because he put it back.
So and
Oh yeah, Willie's gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Willie's gone to clear his name.
And Anastasia's devastated.
Yes.
And-
She's also absolutely convinced that she is pregnant with the heir to the Russian throne and that Willie's the father.
That too.
With Alice as a backup dad.
Details.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Alice is her 30 dad. If we both get to 30 and we're not married, you're going to be, yeah, you can be the dad.
I like how progressive this this town is.
It's a fantasy world. It can be as nice as I damn well
I like
want.
it.
I'm mean to you guys, but this world is a great place.
It's a progressive
Oh
West.
yeah, it's a great place. Just ask all the dead people.
Yes, well, you know.
Just ask the fact that half the population
Which
died.
apparently is a thing that you can do.
Yes, you can.
One of them looked at me. I hated it.
Wow.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
like, also, not to mention the fact that we're all still here. Like, weren't we heading somewhere, all of us?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, so
Oh,
I just
yeah.
want to pull that one out, you know.
The whole world is open. You can leave paradise at any time. But you're
Well-
so invested.
Along those lines, the reason that I came to town was apparently the large creature that y'all had a bit of a tussle with around that train incident. The doctor was a bit of a follow-up, but I might stick around a couple more days and not much more of a reason for me to stay here in this town.
Yeah, I have got a feeling that he is gonna come back. We pissed him right the fuck off.
yeah, he did basically say it wasn't the last we'd see of him.
Well, best prepare, as I always say. Take him out my shovel.
Also, I don't know if we told Baptiste this. And Alice is also, we've still got that burning mine to deal with.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I mentioned, I think.
Yep.
Like
that
the
is-
guy
this
is
mountain
stuck in
is
there.
still on
Blow it
fire.
Our benefactor's still up there, frozen in obelisk or onyx. What was obelisk?
Obsidian.
Obsidian. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know that it's him. Baptiste, I can see the look on your face. There's a bit of a situation.
Blow it up.
When isn't there?
The question is, are they all connected? Like all these incidents.
Which ones? Some of them definitely are.
Well, the chainsaw guy, the burning mountain. Was it Baphomet? Yeah, Baphomet. And what was the last one? The doctor. So
Well, the burning mountain was caused
Taken
by
care
the
of.
train rolling right through, so
That
It was all
reminds me. So remind me one last time, because I keep forgetting who it is. Who am I supposed to be stealing this paperwork from? Is it the banker or is it someone else? I can't remember.
This is he runs the survey office. So he does documents for a living, which is why the sheriff is convinced he's the only person in the town that could be good enough to have made this forgery, which is what he's convinced it is that has ripped this miner off of his ghost rock mine.
And I'm supposed to just be getting the proof of it that's supposedly at his house, theoretically?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
You've been
that's
shown where the survey office is on the map, and you've been shown the house where his house is as well.
all right.
Yep.
Well,
So, who is interested in distracting a gentleman from me while I go look for something in his house.
I'm sorry, do what now?
I think we need some context.
Yeah.
L-
Choice of words.
long story short, I believe we have a lead on one of the gentlemen who were involved in that whole Baphomet mix, and may have been the one making all the paperwork funny for Mr. Forgot his name up in the mine now. God rest his soul, if a God there be.
Whatever his name was. Yeah. Alistair?
The fancy one. I
Fancy
don't remember his
Pants.
name
That was
either.
his name.
Yeah, the asshole.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the
Alan?
Alan Campbell.
Alan, right?
Alan, right. It wasn't
Alan
Alistair.
Campbell.
Alistair would have been unbelievable. But yeah, Alan. That's
What an
altogether
asshole that guy would have been.
Wow, okay. It's not like he died in some horrible way or anything, you know.
different.
Anyway, so I believe I have a lead, and if this gentleman really is up to this, then I think I should figure that out. I could just slip in his house, find the paperwork. If it's not there, no harm done. It's like having a warrant, but you know, I don't.
But not.
But without one.
Well, who
Believe
you're
that
being
that's how that works.
intentionally vague, I'm sure, but who is it?
He runs the. I already forgot again because my memory.
The survey office. Yes.
Survey office.
office.
Yeah.
Detective Jett, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
This is why they've had everything down.
My brain ghosts out from time to time.
You're out in that hot sun with no hat on. That's the problem.
I have a hat.
He's doing that thing where detectives they pretend to forget the information, right?
Ah,
So that somebody
Columbo.
will confess to knowing the
Columbo.
information.
Just one more question before I go. Just one more.
So anyway,
So, yeah.
So
Jett has requested assistance in committing a crime.
this is a crime of justice.
It's a crime. This is burglary.
Now I
would
have
we
to
have
write a
known
whole
anything about
oh.
him and the guy that runs the survey office in our time here? Would we have heard anything about this guy?
Hang on. I'm just writing down crime of justice. I have to turn that into a one shot. What you know about him? He was, yes, he was one of the ones that was suspected of being one of the Baphomet cult members, but he was not pulled onto the train like so many of them were. So he's one of the very few survivors of the followers of the Baphomet cult.
Interesting.
And because he survived, there was no real way to prove that he was part of it, and there's been bigger things on his plate, on the sheriff's plate since. So. But now he seems to have committed a separate crime. Look at them both thinking.
I'll go. You need the help? I can't. I kind of owe you for
Yeah.
helping me out
If
anyway
we-
in the graveyard.
If we knew anything about him, it might be easier to figure out how to get him away from home.
Well, my two recommendations were either, you know, Miss Alice, you could just be like, oh, what a handsome man. Want to buy me a drink? And I could see the daggers you're looking at me. So
I don't think the lady would.
Baptiste
stoop that low.
scoots his chair away from Jett.
The awkwardness of how you said that.
Specifically, what would Alice know what he does in the survey as the survey office?
He runs it. So he is in charge of every document is signed off by him. So he is the boss of the office. If you ask around a little bit, it doesn't take even the person bringing you your breakfast. She can tell you that he is known for being exceptionally details oriented, shall we say?
I might have
The guy flipping the eggs and bacon says, "Yeah, he's a right pain in the ass."
So he's kind of like a high-powered notary. Almost.
Well, around this place, the most valuable thing is Ghost Rock, and your contract doesn't count unless he's signed it. So he is the only place to register your claim, to stake your claim.
So he's one of the most powerful men in town, basically.
Absolutely, yep.
Oh.
Which is why the sheriff can't touch him publicly.
And Jett's trying to get into his house, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if one of y'all, Baptiste, you seem to have a knack for sniffing out guilt on the consciousness of the common man. Look, if anybody else wants to go do anything with this man, I really don't care what it is. You know, go out, intimidate him into a confession, not a false confession, but if he did it,
intimidate him into a
Well,
real confession.
I'm sure that there's a couple of creative ways we could get him out of the house or out of the... Do you need him out of his house or out of his office?
if he's in his office, I just need to make sure he stays there while I'm in his house. I mean, I'm just going to walk through. Literally walk, scoop, continue walking, don't stop walking. And then, oh, look, paper in my hand. Weird. Don't know how that happened.
Would Alice know?
Well, but maybe I could help. Okay, hold on, Jett. I owe you one, right? As it's my job to kind of go around to meet the people and kind of sell my goods. So, you know, offer him a coffin or something.
Glad
Hi.
for the context.
Are
Might
you
be a-
feeling ill? Do you have a minute for us to talk? On the map
Try
that I just
coffin
put,
insurance.
we're on the map screen now, and I just put up number 12 is the survey office, which shows you where it is, just down the road, but it is right on the main drag. His house, I put it on the number is up there, and it's actually just down here. So he only has to go across the yard to get from his house to his place of business.
I was gonna say, would this be someone that maybe Alice and Mr. Comfort would potentially be able to spend some time talking to about a contract for our newfound invention
Absolutely.
and a
Yep.
patent?
Yep, absolutely. He would, at the very least, he would be the local guy most likely to know who to get you set up with, if he couldn't help you himself.
See, perfect. Y'all can all just go and make a line, and they'll be so busy. Coffins and bar certificates and whatever Baptiste wants to do, and all of that. Then
What
I'll
bar am I owning?
I don't know. I have nothing to do with that.
There was an offer made
Oh yeah, I forgot.
regarding the bar. Yeah.
Well,
He
he
also
said he said that when I was walking away, so I didn't hear that.
Oh, that's
I don't-
right. But he has told you that he wants to call it Ellie's.
Oh yeah, my last conversation with him. Right?
I think I just assumed, because I don't think I was trying to meta knowledge, and I think I literally just was like, you work there, and he's your uncle, so like, eh. Or you used to, I don't know. I'm going to stay out of that one. Anyway. So,
Yes, as you can see, like I said, they're both right on the main road. One's on the main road, one's right near the crash site, actually. So they're still pulling that hoarding down by his house. So it'll be quite obvious in both instances. And I'll just remind you, Jett, you can walk through walls, but you're not invisible when you do so. You still look like you.
oh, and I've been really open and honest with everybody about the fact that I could do that.
Yeah, half the town knows now. Yep.
Where is his house versus where his offices are?
It's really close to each other.
Very close.
They are literally across the backyard from each other. His office is here. If you can see me pinging on the map, I know the map isn't showing on the overlay, but the players can see it. So that's right there on Main Street, and then just to the southeast of that, that's his house there.
But theoretically, if he walks in on that the north is that way, so I guess technically it's the west side. But if he walks in at that bottom right hand corner, he's got a decent chance of less people seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
This is also Wild West law. I don't think we're exactly held to, plain view, gotta get the evidence in a specific way. I'm pretty sure if I say, hey, look, this paper shows that he did this, everybody's gonna be like, kill him, and then we're done.
That's fair, but it would also be fair to add to that if they found you burgling another man's house, they might just shoot you dead. They might not wait to take you to court.
Maybe put on a disguise just in case.
Or
How do you
someone to watch your back.
That works too. See, this is why I asked, because, you know, I'm smart, but y'all might be a little bit smarter.
I can come with you.
I think everybody can come with me from what I've heard.
No, because Alice and Lucius are going to be going to the office, right?
Oh.
Try and distract him. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the three of you are going to sort of make your way down by the sort of tent city and the train wreck and the house. One assumes.
Yeah.
You guys can actually move yourselves around on the map if you'd like.
I
Just
am,
sort of put yourself near your goal. Not that we're going there yet, but just so we,
Yeah.
so that we can
I
all see
am
who's
gonna
going where.
swing through and pick up Mr. Comfort for this.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And I'm gonna kind of just be like, I'm gonna give him the quick like, all right, we're doing we're doing a thing. Need to distract this guy.
You tell him you want to do the patent paperwork.
Yeah, and I'm telling him it's because we need to distract this guy.
Yeah. Then he nods and he's like, yeah. And he pulls open the drawer and pulls out a document and he shows it to you, very clearly marked, patent pending, and it's all filled out and everything else. It's even signed at the bottom with this information on it. It's your name and his name as co-creators. And he just reaches up and goes, rips it into four and throws it back in the drawer. All right, Miss Alice, let's go. You think maybe we could ask him some questions while we were there? I mean, in an official capacity?
You can, as long as you need him, you talk to him.
I'll be just there to assist if it goes south for you two.
Well, who are you going with?
I thought I was going with Alice.
Okay, so
You can ask him for a patent on your shovel as well.
Okay. Or my collapsible coffin. It's not quite done yet.
Lucius and Alice there.
I don't know why you.
I'm sorry, Ellie. Where were you
Never
going?
mind.
With Baptiste and Jett, or with?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, I'll go with Jett.
All right. Okay.
Actually, every creation, and I meant to mention this to you, Baptiste, has my patent, like a little signature on it. So every creation I make.
Turn it over. It says
So you
made by Lesamax.
so you
No,
signed the Bible.
No, in the inside. No, it's just
Written by.
Written by.
so no. Just in the inside, it's just like a small little initials that's like you can't. It's like hard to see, but like it's subtle. So,
There's
like,
that couple of
every-
pages at the front to make it look real, and when you read them real close, he's changed some of the wording.
Oh hell, this says celebrate, not celebrate.
Oh, you got 64 years to make up for. Anyway,
He wasn't
so
that kind
yes.
of preacher.
So Miss Alice, along with your friend, are heading up the street, and he's brought a pot of the liquid with him that he paints on the steel and the piece of the ghost steel, and he's got pictures, and he's got your original, the one that you left with him, the one picture you left with him, and he's already, as you're walking across town, he's building a patter in his head, like he's putting together the elevator pitch, 30 seconds to get you into the office.
This is why I knew that if I just was like, hey Dan, let's do a thing,
Yep.
it would be fine.
Speaking of 30 seconds to get you into the office,
Do you
as
make
we're walking,
Yes.
I'm like, so do you two want to get in like an argument or like some public display to get?
I had a bit of an idea of how to keep everybody's attention closer towards the bit of a tent city that's set up there.
Or you can give a sermon?
Not quite.
Oh.
He's not that kind of preacher.
I don't know. You're not here.
Still answered me.
I can almost hear Miss Alice's voice in my head.
It does carry some.
Grating and
Just wait.
sharp.
Alice got some questions now that she knows some things. Okay, you just wait.
No, I
What's
figured
your
that I
idea,
would.
Baptiste?
I thought it might be dust off some of the old tricks that I had traveling around with Wild Bill and put on a bit of a show.
Now I wish I could see this, but you know what? That'll do it. I think that might just keep them watching long enough for me to get this done. So, Ellie, do you want to? I don't know. Do you need help with that, or do I need to keep you?
No, I can handle that. That way, Miss Ellie here can keep an eye out on anybody that happens to find the show boring and shoo them the other way.
Yeah, I'll just keep an eye on the area, make sure no one's looking around your spot.
We're doing this for a good reason. I feel like I should reiterate, but you know.
I sure as hell hope so.
Just keep
Well, if-
telling yourself that.
If not, I'll
Keep telling
stab
yourself.
myself or something. I'll make up for it. I'm sure.
Don't you?
Don't.
How about we make
You're-
a deal that you'll stop
please.
stabbing yourself because
Yeah,
we're helping you? Because
you-
good lord, if I see you stab yourself one more time, I'm gonna be the next one stabbing your arm.
But
May I remind you, you still have like
No, 'cause you're not
3 or
there.
4 wounds, my friend, that
Yeah, you're
also
not.
still need to be attending. I'm surprised they're not infected yet. Okay.
did I heal yet?
No, you didn't. I've been trying to tell you. Do you need some?
It's pride and honor and magic.
I'm
And
this
talk
close
to
to
the
slapping
master.
you.
Toxic masculinity, son.
Cowboys.
Yes,
I
Jett, I
swear.
am this close to slapping you, silly boy. Okay.
Ugh.
Man,
Not
I
there.
hear Lucius's voice too.
Yeah, it's so weird how these people are nagging me from a mile away.
I know it was only 3
Alice
weeks,
really
but
might be able
there's
to
been
nag
a
you
bit of
from a
rust
mile
we've needed
away
to
in a
knock
bit,
off here. a little
so
bit.
watch it.
All right, so Baptiste is gonna go put on a show.
He's
Miss
going to
Ellie,
distract him. Yep.
keep an eye and make sure
Miss
nobody's.
Ellie, that kind of makes you
Look out.
I mean, a little superfluous, maybe. Your choice. All I'm saying is that right down there at the end of the street, there's a completely rebuilt bar.
Yep, there is. I'm
Yep.
keeping lookout for Jett.
I thought the railroad got destroyed in all this.
Oh, it did. And now the bar is built
No,
right
no,
back where it
no.
was, right on top of the corner of the wreckage.
I was
There's
making
no
a-
tracks. There's no nothing. There's just this big thrashed mess where the train went through.
I was making a railroad joke, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, those weren't funny in 1890 either. Ask Kevin, he knows.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, that hurt me, and I'm
And all of a sudden,
90s.
the train
What's that?
picks up
Baptiste
and
died?
lands on Baptiste,
Yeah, Baptiste
and
died.
Baptiste is dead.
just like that.
God
Oh.
smites.
The hand of God.
I'd like to think I'm not a vain person, but the first thing I did was check Twitch to see how many people watched you say that.
Well, what's really creepy is my ring light started
Flickered.
I saw
flickering right
that.
after
I
that. I was
saw
like,
that.
what did you do?
That was your
Kevin's
patron going,
mad.
well done. So back on the streets of paradise. Oh, look. Oh, there's another layout. Look at this.
Ooh. Lucius,
For those of
you're
you that
a
aren't,
little
for those of you that aren't like, yeah, 2.
Marty.
He said he was up all night.
Marty,
No wonder he's tired.
You
Look at
sick
that.
son of a bitch.
Very nice. I like this very much. Oh, wonderful. All right. And so with that, now we can see where everybody is. Miss Alice, you, Lucius, and Mr. Comfort arrive at the office. There are 2 very burly, very well-armed and slightly armored. You see they're wearing body armored guards outside. And it gives you the idea. I mean, this is for real. This building is probably as important as the bank was before it got blown up.
Well, damn.
They see you coming and pull the door open and smile.
And ladylike thing, smile,
Mhm.
you know, a little nod and a smile.
Yeah, Dan gestures you through first,
The
and
gentleman bow.
yeah, you next because Dan's oldest, so he'll go last. So yeah, Miss Alice in all your glory, Lucius in your finery, and then little round Dan with his hat and his comb over and his greasy little scalp
Is
and his
it
box, his little wooden box with all the stuff in it that he's going to make the presentation with.
the box that's probably bigger than he is?
Pretty close. It's resting on his belly, like he's using his belly to help carry it.
I get that.
Yeah, and he comes in and he looks around, and there's 2 rows of clerks all the way down both sides, like 4 down each side. They're each at a desk. These desks, this room, it is immaculate. There's not a paper out of place. Every inkwell is on every desk is in the same spot. They're almost writing in unison. It is a perfectionist's dream, this room. And at the very back of it, on the left-hand side, there's an officious-looking man sitting at a desk. And behind him, there's a wall with a very clearly, very obvious safe door that's built into the structure itself.
Alice kind of looks at Dan and kind of motions like, is that the guy?
Dan kind of grins at you, and he kind of turns around and goes to hand you the box. If you wouldn't mind.
Lucius, could you?
Yeah, I'll take it.
He hands it to you. He grins at Miss Alice. Turns around.
Just hold my bag, Dan, if you don't mind. It's just...
And he turns back to Alice and looks at you and he says, watch this. He hates this. And he turns around and marches right down the middle of the room. No invitation, no request. This tiny little man just waddling down the middle of the room, and he yells out at the top of his lungs, Thomas, you old piece of shit. How you doing, buddy? And he walks up and just slams both hands on his desk, which causes the inkwell to move, and he smudges some papers around. He leans in. We got to talk. We got to talk right now. And he just keeps moving stuff around on his desk.
What a hero.
I'm
Thomas
doing my best not to drop
is
the box.
his shit. He's like he won't touch Dan, and Dan won't back up. He tries to push him back, but Dan just stays in his space. And so the hand stops about 6 inches from his chest, and he starts trying to straighten up his desk, and Dan is now given up any pretense. He is just, whatever he straightens, he just reaches over and moves it. He's just got this guy's OCD by the nose, and he's just playing.
Dan is the hero we never knew we needed.
You can hear at your end of the room, because you're still back by the door, the 2 clerks closest to you, the one on each side, have discovered, or they think at least, that they are far enough away, and there is some slight snickering. They haven't broken stride. They're still scribing documents, but like almost clearing throats, almost a laugh. Yeah, he's
Alice,
he's just going. I mean, he's just
as she walks by those 2, she kind of does the same thing, like in response to them.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, that man, I swear. And like, just keeps walking towards this shit show that's happening.
I'll follow behind.
Make a streetwise check for me, Miss Alice.
Well, that's not great.
That's 3. Okay, no, never mind. Okay. The snickers continue as you sort of step down the hallway. The other ones, you can see they're fighting it. You can, like, they're doing all the things, right? You grab the edge of the table where it's kind of sharp and driving into your palm. You bring your knees up against the bottom of the desk so it hurts. You can see them trying really, really hard not to laugh.
They're gonna talk about this is gonna be
the
talk of the talk of lunch.
Oh yeah, this is clearly comeuppance time for Thomas. Yeah. The 2 of you are in there. Anything you want to try and accomplish while you're here?
I don't. She kind of moves closer, but she kind of hangs back, watching this shit show with Dan.
Yep. And
until it comes to a resolution of some sort.
Give me you know Dan really well by now, so give me another give me a streetwise on Dan. Unless you've got psychology as a profession. Well, that's better.
Well, I do.
Oh, do you? Okay, then give me that, and we'll see which one's better. Whether your raw ability to read people or whether your training. Definitely
not
your
training.
raw ability to read people is helping you here. Dan is enjoying this.
Yeah.
He is having a very good time.
And Alice can't. Alice has, even though his back is like to her, I feel
Yep.
like Alice is convinced that this is Daniel.
Yep.
It is,
but he's still using Dan's voice, but this is the brains behind this is definitely Daniel messing with this guy. One other thing you pick up, he is performing, but not for you, but he's trying to impress somebody in this room. Dan is trying to impress somebody in this room. So there's multiple levels to what he's doing.
Oh shit, that sneaky little motherfucker.
And he keeps every sort of 30 seconds or so, he peeks out of the corner of his eye over at you like he's waiting for you to give him a signal to end it.
Alice is gonna clock that that he was trying to impress somebody, and then just walk up and what's the guy's last name?
This gentleman's full name is Thomas Martin.
Okay. She walks up and she says, "Mr. Comfort, I do think that's enough."
All right, we're here on a mission. Maybe you better talk. I'll just go wait outside.
And she says, "Mr. Martin, I'm sorry. He's I'm sure."
And as Dan walks out, you see him blatantly wink at the girl just next to the door, like one of the two that was laughing earlier. On the way out, he just looks down and gives a great big obvious wink. And she's like 20 years younger than he is. He's in his mid-40s. She's a young lady. He's like, "Hey," and out the door.
Oh, Dan. Again, Alice is just clocking all this for later. Like, okay. Mr. Martin,
And he's just straightening and straightening and straightening. Yes.
was hoping to talk to you about something. It's sort of and she kind of looks around the room, sort of a delicate matter at the moment.
Oh, it's completely safe in here, miss. They've all been personally vetted by me.
Okay. And she'll gesture for Lucius to sit the box down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in need of drawing up some sort of a patent on something that I have come across in my time here.
I don't think I have the actual paperwork here, but I'm sure I could find it. What is it one wishes to patent?
Well, I acquired some ghost steel and had it made into photographic plates, daguerreotype plates of a sort, and took an image on it. And she just will pull out the 3D.
Mm-hmm. When you do that, and it's the one with the up at the graveyard,
Baptiste
right?
and
So
Jett.
the Baptiste and Jett run through. They start to run, and he kind of jolts back from the desk, and his hand hits his inkwell and knocks it over. And there's ink, this blot of ink spreading across his desk, and he's not looking at it. In fact, his hand drops right in it, and he's just staring at this picture as Baptiste and Jett, I remember, run across the field, and then run across the field backwards, and then run across the field, and then run across the field backwards as you tip it back and forth. He is utterly in shock.
And we'll talk about it, but Alice is she's gonna keep doing this as long as she can keep him distracted with trying to give them as much time as possible. She's just gonna
because he's with Dan softening her up and you doing this, absolutely. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. So shall we call that played out then? that bit?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
was there anything
she
specific
just
you wanted to do?
she like I said, she'll just do it as long as
It
she
would take,
can.
honestly, to do this from scratch would probably take him an hour because he's going to have to create the documentation and have one of the clerks write it up, and then he's got to sign it. And
And
there'll
she'll
be a
show him.
fee
She'll show him
involved, of
the.
course, but
And I'll tell him that Dan
that's
was
fine.
whatever.
Yeah,
and
he's-
and
yeah.
and I'll show him like the stuff that that Dan the
Yep, and
solution.
he makes you write down the whole process because you have to patent the whole process, right? So, yeah, it's at least an hour that you've got him there. Yeah.
Perfect.
So no problem. So across the yard, over by the train, it's fair. I mean, the tent city is busy always. There's always people there, but the rest of this corner is fairly quiet because the hell train is sitting right there still slightly steaming. What would you guys like to do?
Well, if you'll give me a few minutes, Jett, I'm sure that you'll be able to tell once the show's gotten underway.
I'll take a walk around the block and see where the best way to walk from is, and I'll lead them to it. And I'll just I guess I'm gonna walk around that whole square, like in front of the office they went in, and around the other side, because I'm assuming the point where the least people are gonna be like openly looking would be like if I walked through here.
Yep. And then in between those buildings, absolutely. That building on the map, just to the left of his house is his storage, like his shed.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nobody living in that. So yeah, if you came in off the street, sort of where Lucius's token is, in between those houses, you would stand a very good chance of getting there unseen.
Perfect. We'll do that.
Have to be doing some sneaking for sure. Oops, that's the wrong sheet. Wrong game. I'm looking at I got a cheat sheet sitting over here, but it's got the wrong game on it. So
That's useful.
not particularly helpful. So yeah. Yeah, give me a yeah, everybody has sneaking, right?
Well, let me ask too, because
Sneak.
Let me ask this too, because this is interesting. I'm not trying to sneak.
Okay.
In this particular instance, what I'm doing is part of the reason I want to come from this angle is I kind of want to clip the front of the house. I want to almost look like if you were looking from any angle, like I was just walking past the house.
Right.
If that makes sense. So I'm literally just walking like it's nothing. I just turn down the alley. I'm like, and I walk, and it's just like a regular stride. And to anyone from that direction from the train, it looks like I just walked past the house.
Sure. Yep.
So, well, and if he's waiting until, if he's waiting, hopefully everyone's attention is going to be facing the other way anyway. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just put you here, sort of in that little narrow area between the houses. Yeah, and I mean that's easy enough in a town like this. When a gentleman walks down between two buildings that are close together, one simply doesn't look. Right, he's gone for a pee. Right, so yeah. No public toilets anywhere on this map. I hope you noticed. So on the other side of the building, out in the sort of open area by the tent city, where most of the people are.
All right.
Miss Ellie and Baptiste.
Yeah, Baptiste will sort of kind of turn to Ellie and nods his hat a little bit, and he's got a smile. He actually probably looks a little younger than only in his mid 60s.
Yeah.
And he kind of I walk off into the tent city, and find someone that's making a cup of coffee.
Absolutely, yeah. There's actually almost like a little cart that somebody's got a small sort of coal fire going in, and they're selling coffee.
Okay. Yeah, he'll walk up and one of those little blue and enamel, coffee cups, those nice.
Oh, yes.
You buy at a frontier store.
Yeah, the camping cup.
A camping cup.
With the specks of
With the white
white
Yeah,
all
Some
over
little
it.
speckles and all of that.
Yeah.
So Baptiste will pick up that mug of coffee and just down the cup of coffee. And in a little bit louder of a voice, say, "Yeah, any of y'all ever seen this one before?" And he'll take the coffee mug, pull the coffee mug up, flip the coffee mug around, flip the coffee mug forward, flip the coffee mug sideways, like gun tricks with the coffee mug.
With the coffee mug, yeah.
But then throw the coffee mug, that metal coffee mug up in the air, and then with his left hand, quick draw and shoot it while it's in the air.
All right, give me a quick draw and a shooting. We're not going to worry about damage because it's a coffee cup. But
Sure. All right, let me find my quick draw.
But as you flip it, I mean, this is not your first show. You made sure that the centripetal force kept some liquid in the bottom.
Sure,
And when you
of
flip it up,
course.
you spin it a little slower so it comes out. So it's arcing in the sun with this spray of coffee coming off the end of it.
I will say this, I am standing so that I'm facing the direction that the house is. So anybody watching this show, their back is to that house.
Gotcha. Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
The quick draw.
That's quick.
And shooting. I just got to scroll back up to it.
No problem.
All right.
This is probably.
I also
going to be a
can't
ridiculous
see my own scores while I'm rolling these. So
Oh yeah. Well,
here's
you rolled
one.
a 14 on the quick draw. So, okay.
So that's
one. You say how many are you shooting?
So that's so I hit the first time.
Oh yeah.
And it bounces up in the air.
Ding. Yeah. Ding. Yep.
Keeping it in the air.
Yep.
After 2 shots, I can reach down and grab the second pistol with his right.
Yep, with the hand that you just threw with. Yep.
A 12 and so 4 shots to keep it in the air.
So yeah,
4
the cup
different
goes
times.
up. The mist of hot black coffee spins away, and then it starts to spin faster. You hear bang, it spins again, spins again. That gun goes back so fast you hardly see it draw. The hand that threw the cup comes down, comes up again, and you're almost not looking. You kind of look up to make sure it's where it was, and you just sort of look down at the crowd and go ting, ting, and shoot it 2 more times. And it comes down tunk, 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 in the dirt. And one of the people picks it up and holds it up like that and looks through the bottom of it. And there's a happy face. There's 2 eyes and 2 shots at the bottom, but it was shot in such a way that you cracked the bottom of the cup and opened it up like a mouth. Those shots were amazing.
All right. And he'll milk that.
Oh yeah.
He'll milk that for maybe a good 5 minutes or so. And tell some stories and shake hands and stuff like that. And then just every once in a while glance to try to catch Ellie's eye and see if everything's okay. And if I need to take longer, I'll take longer. But
yeah, not a problem. Miss Ellie, almost everybody's watching. In fact, everybody is watching, but you see a small group of about 4 young men that are watching differently. You recognize one of them. It's Terrence from the inn yesterday, and he is still. You can see him pointing at Baptiste and talking in very animated tones to these other 3 young men.
Okay,
They're not watching what's going on. It's not like there's any chance that they're going to see Jett, but it's just that they're looking at Baptiste differently than everybody else is.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm hanging around kind of right at the corner of the houses, just kind of standing so I can both see Baptiste and I can see the actual house and if anyone near there is looking in that area.
Sure.
So just kind of keeping an eye to make sure nobody's looking over here.
Yep. Yeah. And so you give me streetwise. And it's pretty obvious, but it'll be a low difficulty. Yeah, there is absolutely nobody paying attention to that. Baptiste, you've got some fans. Like there's people clapping and offering to pay for your tricks, offering to pay for you to do another one, things like that. The coffee seller is demanding payment for his cup. One of the audience throws him $1. Shut up, shut up.
Plot twist, it was the same guy that you shot all his ducks at the carnival.
Oh, no.
This new business this
My
morning.
coffee cups.
It's like the Cabbage Man in Last Airbender.
That was the reference I was going for. All right. If things start to die down, I don't want to lose the crowd. So I'll say now I'm sure that there's plenty of you who are not gambling, of course, the Satan's work, but has a deck of cards. Anybody with a deck of cards?
From down the road in the bar, you hear, "You son of a bitch, I can't come out." But from around you, somebody says, "Yeah," pulls out a deck of cards, and
He says, all right, let's say, go through that deck for me and find the ace of spades.
he holds it up.
All right. Go on now. Hard as you can.
Bling.
All right. Now roll to shoot that one. All right. I just had it. Sorry.
That's all good. See,
let's I'm looking for the roll, but let's just call it like an 18.
Yeah, I'm with your rolls. That would be at least the average. Yeah, you don't take the pip out, but you take the. It looks intentional because you took the stem off.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, it comes fluttering back to the ground, and yeah,
I'll have him shuffle it back in the deck,
mm-hmm.
and then milk the crowd for another good couple of minutes.
Oh yeah,
amping them up to see if they want to see the best trick that I have. I'll spend 5 minutes telling a story about Annie Oakley.
Sure.
And then have him throw the entire deck up in the air.
Okay.
And I'm gonna. Oh, it was good. Oh, I'm setting myself up bad. I'm gonna try to shoot that ace again out of the whole deck.
Okay.
So what would you like me to do to make that happen?
Just give me you've already got getting the pistol out isn't an issue.
Yeah.
Just give me a straight shoot and roll. The difficulty is going to be fairly high, but
you know what you wouldn't miss with a shotgun or that roll.
Yeah, he didn't
So
miss. That's not an issue.
you tell him to throw the deck in the air, and he throws the whole deck, and it stays almost together in a lump as it's flying through the air, and it starts to come apart a little bit, starts to fan out sideways. And anybody who's watching real close sees the bullet go through the edge, like the cards are this way, and the bullet goes through this way and just catches the bottom of one card, and it spins down and actually sticks into the dirt. And it's already got the hole in it. And amongst a rain of 51 other cards coming down and landing around it, your ace of spades with the hole through it is sticking up out of the ground. And yeah, you're full on applause. People are trying to buy you drinks. They're just
this is what
there's some swooning going on.
This is what Baptiste does when he's not hunting people down. So he's got a hat out that hopefully has a couple of coins and bills in it.
It's bills in there for sure. And yeah, there are also a number of handkerchiefs are in there as well.
That's why he's always got one ready.
Yeah, he gets offered a lot of handkerchiefs.
But he does keep he will keep sort of hand holding and trying to keep still hold of everybody's attention. I'm hoping that all of those took me about 20, maybe 30 minutes if I could stretch some of the
least,
stories.
Yeah, at least, yeah. Because I mean, those Wild West shows, I've never seen one live, but I've seen one recorded, and yeah, it's 90% talk and then a trick, and then 90% talk and then a trick.
Yep.
So
That's what he's
you don't
going
do.
for.
You don't.
So
I mean, if you just do all your tricks, you're done in 45 minutes. Everybody gets to go home, right?
yeah,
So-
I'm trying to give Jett about 20 to 30 minutes.
Absolutely. So, Jett, between those buildings, you see the spectacle, you hear the banging, shooting, and you know what he's doing. So you got all kinds of. You look out, and there is nobody looking.
Woo! I'm just walking into this man's house like it's no thing.
All right. You were walking into what, top left corner of that house from where you're seeing.
Yeah, just through that corner, kind of like I was just walking straight, and then as soon as I get in, I'll just kind of see where that put me.
Yep.
Yep.
So 5 wind to go in to go through the wall, just for that split second that it takes you to walk through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of come back to solid. You're inside a very well appointed bedroom, clearly the bedroom of a single male, and clearly the bedroom of somebody who is very, very organized. This looks like a picture in a catalog. I almost said it like a picture on the internet, but that didn't exist. So, you know, the catalog that came out once a year with the art drawn in it of what the furniture looked like. This room looks like that. It looks like nobody lives in it.
Oh no, that just made this more difficult. I can't touch anything. I'm just gonna look around, take this all in, and just be like, I'm gonna channel Alan Campbell. I'm just gonna be like, pinky up, and just be like, oh, where would I put my paperwork? Oh, hoity-toity. And I'm just gonna start looking for like a wall safe or a bed. I don't like that you're rolling numbers and that they're high. So yeah, I'm just looking around and just kind of like, if I open drawers and stuff, it's very carefully and putting it exactly back, but still just trying to be quick.
Yep. Give me a searching.
Oh God. That's bad.
Okay, so this is the plan. I will only touch things that I know I can put back. You reach for the bedside table and thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. 10 months? Is that what that said? Holy cow.
Oh, it's
Wow.
John.
10 months of watching us. Thank you. Oh,
It's John.
He's our biggest fan. He watches every night.
10 months. I'll say thank you anyway. I don't care if he's also the producer. So you reach for the bedside table. It seems like a logical place to keep papers. And as you go to pull the drawer, it's locked and the whole cabinet kind of tilts forward. You catch it and push it back, but it kind of goes ka-dunk against the wall. And a candle that's on it falls over and goes bunk. And you hear as it's rolling across the top of the table about to fall off.
Can I catch it?
Give me a deftness.
It's not on fire, right?
Nope. No, it wasn't even lit. He wasn't home. Deafness. You do that thing where you don't even think. You just whoosh, and your hand snaps out like a snake, and you catch it halfway to the ground, and you just have time to go. When the door behind you slams open, the door to the hallway, what would have to be the hallway in the house, and it is filled with a human being. There are parts of this human being that are not visible because he's wider than the door and he's out in the hall. He looms over you, flesh hanging and sagging, pasty white skin, long greasy hair. And he looks at you and says, a toy. And he has to turn sideways to start coming through the door.
What's the nearest wall to the?
You're right there. I mean, you just stepped into this room. I said the cabinet banged against the wall, so I mean, you can go right there.
But will that take me outside of the house, or will that take me? Like, is there a wall I'm next to that would go into another room, or is it the only way?
The south wall of this room. You'd have to kind of run to get past him.
Let's
if you
do
wanted to go through that wall. Okay.
If I have to go over the bed, to stay away from him, I'll do it.
Well, let's go. Give me some quickness. Let's see who's going to go win.
Oh boy.
Oh, he only gets one card.
Woo! Jett be nimble, Jett be quick.
You get 3 cards. Holy cow. Go ahead and give yourself
Jett,
3
why
cards.
did you knock over the fucking candlestick?
Look, man, I tried, okay? I don't know what this man keeps in his house, but it's got me. Oh, God, I got 2 keyboards now. I'm just going to draw them individually.
Kevin's enjoying this way too much.
I bet he is, because he knows he's going to do something horrible to me.
And as
All
you
right.
draw your 3 cards, as he turns to come through the door, he says, "My name's Ricky."
Hi, Ricky. I'm not interested.
One person got it. 2 people got it.
I didn't.
It's Ricky Martin.
Oh, God. Please don't touch me, Ricky Martin. Oof. So I drew my cards.
Yeah. What's but let's make it real easy. What's your highest card?
Ace.
You're going first.
Woo. Oh, boy. All right. Let's yeah, I'm just running and going through
Just
that wall.
And through the wall. So another 5 wind.
Oh, boy.
He reaches for you, but he's kind of, like I said, he's had to turn sideways, and even then he's had to suck in his gut to get through the door. He's built like a sumo wrestler. He is massive. And he reaches one huge arm out for you, but you right through the wall. And you hear from the other side of the wall, "Not fair." What's your next card? Next highest card?
A 5.
Okay, what suit?
Spades.
You go first.
Okay.
So you burst through that door or through that wall. The next room down is actually the living room, sitting room. It's the common area. So there's a fireplace and a couch and some chairs. But again, it looks showroom fresh. The carpet or the mats on the floor are perfectly aligned with the table, and it's perfectly aligned with the couch.
Oh,
And you just boom through the wall and sort of stumble through the couch and then come back to solid in the middle of this room. So that's your second 5 win. That's 10 total.
Yep. I don't know if I'm going to get used to this anytime.
So you've through that wall. What would you like to do? It's still your turn.
Oh, crap.
To your left, there's sort of a little kitchen niche. And then ahead of you, there's another wall. It looks like another bedroom, probably. And then at the bottom, the bottom right corner on the map is the door to outside.
I don't want to go outside. I wasn't actually going to use this for anything practical, but I'm going to ask. When we ended the carnival session,
Yep.
I asked if I could have one of those little corn men or whatever they are.
Yep.
I'm going to call, because I assume he's still coming, so I'm going to call him and say, "Listen, Ricky, you can't touch me. I'm a ghost, and I'm real spooky. But listen, I might be able to give you something if you're willing to work with me. A toy."
Now, as you turn around to say that, you realize he's right there. Like, he's halfway through the door going into that room, but there was no hallway. You came through that wall into the living room, so he only has to come back out of the door, and he's in the same room with you.
Yep, I'm a ghost.
So you turn around, "Hey, Ricky," and he comes out and has a swing at you, because he also has a 5. It's a 5 of hearts.
What the heck, man?
So bang, that hits. And he does. This is just a punch only. Seven points. So he reaches out, unless you're going to try and zorp.
I wouldn't mind trying to, but I know I have to move to do it. If I'm correct, if I read the room correctly last time I did this.
Yeah, you do have to move, so you'd have to try and run through him or something. You would have to burn your next card. You've got a card left, so it would be like an interrupt.
I will do that if I may, to
Yep,
just
absolutely.
to move to try to clip through him.
Yep. So go ahead and burn that card.
It's a 2.
And you manage burn another 5 wind. And you manage to sort of step into his hand as he swings. And it goes right through you. And then you kind of come back. And he looks down at you, and you can smell him now. He's unbathed, unwashed, never brushed his teeth. There's just this reek coming off of him. And he looks down at you and goes, "Hey, living la vida loco," and pulls his hands up above his head and goes to double hammer fist you on his next action.
Oh God! Oh jeez. I'm trying to reason with him. That's the whole point. Because as soon as that fist goes through again, and he says that, I'm just like, Ricky, you can't hit me. I'm a ghost, and the more you try, you're gonna get cursed.
Oh,
it's not good. You don't want to end up like this. It's bad. Can't do anything.
You make a. What would this be?
If you say persuasion, I understand, but I'll be sad.
No, give me actually give me an overawe.
God damn it. What?
Yeah, I'm not even going to roll. He can't roll that low. You're trying to talk reason to him. You look up, those eyes, they are glazed over. He is not listening. The word pops back into your head from the other room, toy. He's here to play with you.
Oh boy.
So give me quickness for the next round.
All right.
Oh, still only gets 1. Damn it. Come on, Ricky.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, this time you only get 1 too.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that. I'm just going to drag it out since I only have 1.
Yeah, can you beat a 5? Yeah, I was going to say you can. So yeah, you go first. He is standing, looming above you, filling the room, hands above his head. Their knuckles are dragging on the 8-foot ceilings.
Let me ask, would I, because I put it under throwing because I didn't know what else to put it under. So I have lassoing.
Yep.
Because I cannot hurt this person. I am in their house. I broke and entered into their house. I cannot hurt them. I feel bad about even doing this, but they're going to mess me up.
You can try,
yeah, essentially, I just want to try to throw a lasso in such a way to just essentially like either disarm him or at least throw him off, maybe catch those hands and try something with that.
Perfect. Yeah, give me a lassoing check. This is a skill we added.
Oh, crap.
A 4. Okay, you are not having a day.
I'm going to die.
Hey, Sam, somebody else is going to have to burn a bunch of chips. It's their turn.
Oh, no. I'll die with those chips.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
As you're stumbling back, you start to spin the lasso around your head. This room's not big enough. And it kind of clatters off the wall, and you sort of throw it, and it sort of slaps against him and falls to the ground.
Hellfire.
And then it's his turn. With this 5. And he, again, tries to, just comes down both hands over the, that's a large hit.
Where did the last hit me? I forgot to ask.
Oh, I didn't roll. You're right. This one does 7 as well. So each one of those does 1 wound, 2. Let's do some hit locations here. It's just a D20. Ooh, first one to the guts. Second one right there too. Lower. First one to the gizzard. Second one to the guts.
Okay. Ow.
And that's 1 wound to each of those. Plus, we have to roll some wind for you. I forgot all the bloody rules.
So 2 wounds all to the stomach area. Does he shit himself from the impact? It's a very important question.
Well, let's find out. Was that all I rolled? Oh, no, there. Wait, it's coming. What happened there?
I see words, but no numbers.
Yeah, words, but no numbers. That is very odd. Let's do this again. There we go. 10 more wind from those 2 wounds. You can burn chips.
I'm gonna have to, but I'm only burning a white one.
Yep.
I think.
White one would prevent a white one. Let me look. It has been 3 weeks and I have forgotten how it all works.
I think it burns one, doesn't it? It removes one, either wind or wound.
White chip, one wound or 5 wind. It's a 5. I knew there was a ratio, so it's a 5-to-1 ratio.
But if you remove the wound, does it not make you take the wind? I can't remember.
Yeah, technically you were supposed to tell me when you took the wound. I want to burn it. It's at that moment, but
Okay.
you've never done this before, so yeah.
Yeah.
You want to prevent both of them?
How many white chips do I have? Because I don't mind doing that.
I mean, you said at the start of the night, you said you had 7
I
chips.
do have a lot. I'm just trying to remember where they are. Yeah, I'll burn 2 white chips and just get rid of those.
It's he comes down with this major attack, and I guess you step back and he kind of thumps you across your rib cage and belly, but you suck in at the last second and it whizzes by. And he's still standing in front of you. So.
Also, I don't think we drew chips.
No, we didn't start it tonight. Everybody draw 3 chips. Thank you.
Just in case you get real low, Jett.
All
Nice.
the rules. Oh, forgot them all. Man.
Well, that might come in handy.
I didn't want to take a break at all, but nobody was going to play with me on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So
That is a lie, but
well, anyway, so yes, start of the next turn. Give me some quickness.
oh god, I'm not loving it.
Oh, he finally gets 2.
Started to wish I would have brought somebody.
Thank you. That wasn't our producer, so that's a legitimate thank you. Thank you.
All right, draw 1 for me.
Just 1 for you. Oh my.
It's a 10 of
Get
spades.
to go
Thank
first.
you, Sean. Sean's a friend. Thank you.
Oh well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not in good shape.
Can I hear any of this commotion? Because I'm just outside the wall.
You're just outside. Give me a Just give me a straight what would it be? Cognition. Yeah, just give me a straight cognition check. There's you hear a loud at exactly this moment you hear a very loud swear that is not Jett's voice. This big booming son of a bitch from inside the house.
That's not good.
So you can draw some chips too. Or yeah, roll me some quickness and see how many chips you draw. See if you're gonna do anything from outside the house. You get 1 chip or 1 card.
I can't draw any.
Oh, okay.
Lucius' name's in the way.
Yep. 1,
Oh boy.
2. There you go. So have a look. If it's a 10 or higher, you actually get to go first.
Yes.
Okay. So what was it?
It's the Queen of Hearts.
Oh, Queen. Oh, it's over there. Okay, it was behind my thing. Okay, no problem. So yeah, go ahead. You hear that through the wall. It's right there. You look. Baptiste's got them enthralled. Quick look off to the left. There's absolute silence coming from the survey office.
Okay. I'm gonna run to can I open the door? Is it open?
You can run over and try.
Yeah.
So you run down to basically down to here and start trying that door. So you give it a quick twist. It's locked.
Is there any other way I can see in the house?
There's windows all around.
I don't want to break a window.
Does one of my stray trick shot bullets bounce and hit the lock?
One of those 25s. Just...
If I hadn't have made such a fuss about that 25, I might be tempted to say yes, but you already got paid for that roll.
Okay,
So
and They're all all the windows are closed, I'm presuming.
Yep. Oh yeah. This guy is, like I said, this house is this house looks like somebody walks around it every day with a small pot of paint and a brush and covers over the dust. This house is so perfect.
All right, I'm just gonna kind of like bang on the door and not super loudly because I don't want to attract anybody else's attention. But I'm just gonna bang on there and just say, hey, what's going on in there?
You hear that through the door, Jett.
Is the door? Where is the door in reference to me? Is it like another room over? Is it?
This is all sort of very open plan. So you're actually the door is in the bottom right-hand corner of the building, and right now you're sort of halfway up the left-hand wall of it. So you can see the door, and you can hear it when she bangs on it. You can see it move a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Ricky is still blocking out the sun in front of you.
So I can't get to the door without going through him.
Well, I mean, you go first, and there's no zones of control in this game, so.
Then yeah, I'm just trying to get back there, unlock the door, and open it. Just fuck, and just run.
Are you going to try and unlock the door, or are you just going to go through it?
I'm assuming from the inside it's like a deadbolt, right? This isn't like a key.
Yep.
If it's just a deadbolt, yeah, I'm just gonna flip it and push it open.
Okay.
Like, I just tried to yep, nope, it's not good.
So yeah, you whip past him, and he's overcompensated because of the swing, and he kind of stumbles forward right where you were as you sort of blitz off to the side over here. You dance around him, all those waltzing lessons your mother made you go to when you were a child paying off now as you two-step around him, swing over to the door and just flick I'm not even going to make you roll the deafness. You flick the lock, throw the door open. Miss Ellie almost falls in because she's banging on the door yelling. And you're standing there, eyes this big. She's standing outside looking in worried. And at this point, Miss Ellie, you see behind him this mountain of a human being, just massive man standing over, and he's just kind of stumbled forward. You're just gonna push through and head outside, or?
I'm essentially gonna push just enough to get myself on the other side of the door so I could be standing out there looking in.
Yeah, so you sort of push out, slam the door behind you.
Do I? No, I don't. I'm gonna leave the door
open. Leave it open?
I'm gonna leave it open, and I'm gonna look to Ellie, and I'm just gonna be like, really tired. He's really big. I'm really tired of all the pretenses.
And inside you see him sort of stand up and turn towards the door, and there's a strange look on his face. It's not the rage. It's not that play that was there before. It's fear. And you see him take 3 huge steps. What took you 10 steps to get across the room and out the door, he did in 3 strides. And he reaches out and slams the door shut so hard the whole house goes. And you hear from inside, "Not allowed!" And then it goes quiet. We are out of combat.
All right, give me 5 minutes and I can do it again.
Oh, gee.
I love how that's your response to that. So I'm just going to quickly do this because, Jett, you're sort of standing outside on the thing. Miss Ellie standing there in front of you, like looking askance at you, what the hell happened? Just behind the two of you, Jett, you're sort of looking over Miss Ellie because she's fairly short. You can see this crowd of people with their back to you, and beyond that, he looks like the sprightly young man of 55. He is doing gun tricks and telling stories, and he's orating and presenting. He is owning the space. You have never seen Baptiste like this, but there is no way anybody is paying attention to you. Miss Alice, who's gone. I noticed her flick a couple times.
I'm still here, just having issues. I'm just
Oh,
gonna wait
just
till
camera
after
issues?
the break before I come back.
All right, no problem. I'm just setting that up at the moment. So you finish your hour there and you walk out with a patent. You have a copy. He has a copy, which he's going to send off. Money has changed hands. Clerks have done work. Lucius, did you do anything while that hour was going on?
You're muted.
I guess I was just really assisting Miss Alice really with the box.
Yeah, so you're reading documents and making sure that they are what they say they are and all of that. So yeah, you guys get that done and step out into the sun. Baptiste, you wrap up the show. Jett and Miss Ellie walk away from the door doing that thing, right? I'm so innocent. Yeah,
I'm
he's
like
all
half
tired and
helping him
pooped
walk.
looking. No marks on him. Oh,
Jett having not gotten what he came for.
Jett, you look down, you are missing 3 buttons off the front of your shirt. It was that close.
Damn. I got something more valuable than what I came for. I got information.
Yes, you do. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has mentioned anything about Ricky Martin to you at any time since you've been in Paradise City.
I don't think that guy's ever seen the sun.
That's the exact impression you get. Yeah, he appears to have been kept locked in that house. You guys, as you walk away, one final thing. This is the sentence I'm going to leave on. You hear the sounds, and I'm not even sure what this sounds like, of a gigantic man cleaning and replacing things that have been moved and bumped during the fight. You look in the window as you walk away and you can see him, his huge fingers, and he's trying to put this tiny, delicate little figure in exactly the right spot on the coffee table that got bumped. And with that little heartbreaking moment, we will go to break.
Well, all right, y'all. I gotta let you know. Got some complaints from all you temporal beings that the time frames of things like the breaks are hard to keep track of. So that's why we're adding timers to things now. And this break's going to be exactly 20 minutes. So if you got to go to the bathroom, run down to the corner store, or, clean up some blood, you got exactly 20 minutes to take care of that. So if you too are into superstition, like black cats and voodoo dolls, stay tuned. No, Ricky Martin joke, anyone?
Yeah, I got it.
Well, hey, y'all, you see that? You see that? 20 minutes exactly. Isn't that fancy? Don't you like that? There, now you all know. You better be back now because this show's going to start right now. Here we go. I'm exhausted.
That makes sense because I was going to ask Marty exactly in various parts of your brain, how long did that break take?
I mean, things are as they always shall be and always will be. It is 1846. I am standing on the moon. No one else is there yet. It is 1924. I am standing in a warm valley and fighting a rhinoceros. That's a Dr. Manhattan reference for y'all. Let's get back to the show.
It's amazing that you can get anything done on this show at all. I'm boggled. Anyway, back to the show, back to our storytellers, back to our what's going on here. Jett, it occurs to you that Ricky knows exactly what you look like.
Yeah, me too.
And you just broke into his house. This occurs to you as you're walking away. Baptiste, you see them because you're the only one looking that direction. You see Ellie look at the house, surprised, runs over, bangs on the door. Jett comes flying through the door, his eyes big. The door slams shut behind them. The two of them walk away trying to look innocent.
All right.
Don't worry, nothing suspicious over here.
Yeah.
He'll keep things going for.
Oh,
I'm
you've still got-
assuming that didn't take the whole 30 minutes.
That was
so.
like 2 minutes. Yeah, you've got lots of time.
Okay. All right. I just keep that in mind then.
So you know they are clear. You may have seen a big white arm slam the door, but that would have been about it. The others, Miss Alice, yeah, you and Lucius are done. You walk out, patent in hand.
Yeah.
You can now sell your product any which way you choose to see fit, and nobody can steal it from you.
Yeah, that was a big
Dan's
thing that I was.
Dan's outside when you step out the door, and he's got, because he's a newspaper man, he's got his little notebook out and his pen and his little portable ink pot, and he's scratching a note on a piece of paper. And as you come out, he kind of and finishes it off, and he folds it, and he looks around and starts to slide it under the door of the building. The two guards are just looking at him. And he's like, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out his wallet and hands them each $10, and they proceed to stare straight across the street while he slides this note under the door. And then he stands up and turns to you.
Well, Alice is gonna ask immediately about this. She's gonna kind of walk him back
her
towards
name's Helen.
his office, though.
Her name's Helen.
Has this been something going on for some time, or?
I have been looking for an opportunity to show off my skill set in front of that particular lady. And you presented me with such a wonderful opportunity to do that, Miss Alice. I can't thank you enough. And depending on the answer to that note, I might not be around to thank you enough.
Well, she was certainly, her and the one next to her were certainly finding your act hilarious.
I thought she might. She does. Her friends all say she has a real good sense of humor.
Well, then maybe she's just perfect for you.
Matchmaker, make me a match.
And you look back through the window
Find
again,
me
and
a
yeah,
find, catch
she's
me a
25. He's
catch.
pushing 50, so she's probably going to tell him to fuck off. But you know, he's got dreams.
I'm not gonna crush his dreams, whatever, man. She's like my age, but whatever.
So he looks at you and at the paper in your hand, and he says, "Is that it?" And he
Hands
reads
it
it
to her.
over very, very carefully. He says, yeah. Oh shit, Miss Alice, we're going to be so rich. And he hands it back to you, and I mean, the paper's shaking when he hands it back to you.
Yeah, I think I need to. I've taken the first photograph and the second, which we ain't gonna talk about. I think I need to take.
He just goes bright red.
I think I need to
He
take
produced it.
some
today,
sort of scenic view or something. Maybe the water moving and coming in, or a train or something. I'm gonna have to think on it. Something that's a little more. Something that doesn't have my friends in it. That's just a naturescape that
His
we can
eyes
mark.
drift up and past you, and he says, something like a mountain with smoke coming out of it. And you turn around, and yeah, against the clear blue sky, there's the smoke coming out of the mountain cave.
Maybe. If Alice thinks she could get a good enough angle.
Well, you have also been working on your telephoto lens, so this would be a good chance to sort of maybe try and fiddle around with that. So you could certainly try and take that. Yeah, you could certainly try and take that shot. You chose.
Yeah, why not? We're gonna do it.
Yeah, this will be your third and final prepared plate, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more made up. I'm gonna
So, yeah.
ask Dan to ask the blacksmith for some, because I'm not on good terms with the blacksmith right now, because I don't trust her.
Yep.
Well, it's
One
good
of
you
the
put
many
the
people in this
second
town.
plate to good use.
Listen, that's especially now that he's gone. That's the only thing probably getting him through. Okay.
If you hung it from a string, it would just rotate. And every time it came around, it would, ooh, ooh, ooh. So, yeah.
God damn it. Yeah, I guess I'll try to take this picture.
So, yeah, you set up on the town, in town with the shooting up the hill with the blue sky in the background. Of course, it's still in sepia tones, but it does move. Because of the relative brightness of the day, you could probably get 3 or 4 seconds if you really squeezed it before it got too dark, which would certainly give enough time for that smoke to show its movement.
Yeah, she's gonna try to get as much as she can out of
Yeah,
the shot.
give me a photography check. By the time you get all set up and ready to go, the light isn't perfect anymore. You can still see the smoke coming out, but as a payoff, there's now a cloud in the shot, so it moves as well. Not much. I mean, it's only 4 seconds, but you can see it it looks like it might storm this afternoon. It's one of those clouds that's sort of boiling up, and you catch a bit of that motion as well when you take the shot. It looks to you like it's going to be pretty good.
Okay.
Unless you want to do your standard thing and burn a chip. Make my photo better.
Let me see what I got. Oh, you know what? I got some stuff here. What's the white one do again? What?
White one, I believe, adds. Let me check though. Fake chips. White chip. You roll a die and add it to your current score. Red chip, you roll it and add it to your current highest one. Oh, no, sorry. White, you get to re-roll 1 die. Red, you get to roll a die and add it to the 9 that you've already got. And blue is just the same as red. It's just that I don't get one, because I would get one if you spent a red one.
I'll do a white, so I get to re-roll 1
just re-roll.
D12, right? Or no, just re-roll.
Just re-roll.
Okay.
This isn't going to be game breaking if you roll a 97, so just re-roll. Oh, the tension's killing me. Yeah, okay. You're just about to pull the trigger and you realize, no, wait, and you run like a block to the side, and as you get set back up, there is now an eagle circling the top of the mountain, so you catch like 4 seconds of the eagle's wings banked in the sunlight. 35. Yes! That's stunning. I mean, your second best roll was a 14, so yeah, 35. It's a
shame the Pulitzer didn't start until 1917.
Yeah, because this would have won one.
It's little do you know, it starts because Alice is too amazing. They have to figure something out to give her.
So yeah, the second you close the shutter, this is special.
Well, we processing this shit right now.
So yeah, you and Mr. Comfort run back to the place and process it, and it's like a 3-dimensional moving postcard for paradise. It's stunning. You couldn't get a better picture to use, and he's like, it's the advertising. This is the one we're going to use in the advertising. And he's doing a little happy dance.
Alice
he seems to have forgotten all about Hazel.
So hard to be like, and to not freak out and lose her shit.
Yeah, because your other money source is all dried up. For the first time in forever, Alice was briefly broke.
Not no more.
But not now. Nobody needs to know. She's going to be rich. So he's flipped open his little book, and he's got contacts in all the major cities, and he's just asking your permission to start calling people.
Yeah, I got the patent now, so I'm not as concerned about it.
It's not going to be quite as easy as it would be now, because to see it, they're going to have to come here to see it. So there's going to be an influx of people coming to Paradise for that. And when he gets, before he starts sending all the information, he kind of stops and looks at you and says, oh, I just thought of an extra stream of income. We can put that hoarding back up around the train and sell tickets. 3-dimensional pictures of people crawling on the hell train. They'll pay a fortune. They will come from everywhere.
Damn it, that's pretty good. Alice doesn't want to do it, but she's like,
You could just
money,
see the
I don't
dollar
know.
sign. It's like, just leave it with me. Leave that with me. I'll get you your half.
And then Alice is she's kind of like, okay, and she's taken this picture that she just took because she wants to show everybody, particularly she wants to show Lucius because she knows that he's going to appreciate it. Yeah.
And as you go to walk out, for a split second, it seems like he's going to stop you and ask you for the print. And then you clearly see him think better of it, and his mouth sort of clamps shut. And he nods at you. He's got his copy of the patent as well. You've got a copy each, obviously. So
I will leave him. I'll leave him the Jett and Baptiste one.
Okay.
So that if I'm not
He's got
around,
something to show. Yeah.
and yeah, exactly.
Perfect. That makes perfect sense. So you guys finished that up. Lucius, while they ran off and did that, what were you doing? I'll let you think about it for a minute. Anybody else? You guys have got some time now. Well, the two of you don't really have much time. Baptiste is still technically still performing.
Well, I'm going to be asking
walked
Jett,
away.
like, who was that? Because I just opened a door, a scary man appeared, and then closed the door on us. So I have no idea what actually happened in there. So that's what I'm asking Jett, and if you actually found anything. And also, who was the giant scary man?
I didn't find anything, but I did find him. I don't know. Boy, looks like he's never seen sunlight. He's big. He's a little thick, but I think it's just, I don't know. I'm not sure. He wouldn't listen to anything. It took everything just to get out of there.
He looks to you like he's just run 2 marathons in the hot sun with his boots on. He looks thrashed.
Yeah.
However, I do think this is something I might be able to have a conversation with Mr. Martin about.
Who was that guy?
In the house, or
Yeah,
Mr.
big scary man.
I'm assuming he's either Mr. Martin's son or relative or something of that nature. I'm not 100% certain.
Well, he's definitely never been seen around town. I don't think you could miss him.
Yeah, I don't know. I guarantee he's not claiming him on his taxes, so I could definitely probably go get him with that. Which might work on a man like that, but I don't know.
Adult dependence 1. 0.
That would at least explain why I was in his house, but I'm not sure how to handle it from here.
Well, right now you need rest. You look like you're about to drop.
I just need a few minutes to catch my breath.
And he is still all wrapped in bandages, both forearms all, still carved up.
Did he hit you?
And I'm looking at
You look down and there's 3 buttons missing off of his shirt, and he kind of pulls it open a little bit, and there's just this thin line of a bruise, just like a knuckle grazed him.
He tried.
It looks like he did, actually.
He just clipped me. I'm fine. I'm,
Clipped is a hit.
Oh, now that we're gonna, and as I'm assuming we're walking down the street, this is very like, I'll have to get you back or get back to you on that one. I'm not so sure. Depends on the game. Close only counts in horseshoes and something that probably wasn't invented yet. No, wait, we made something that exploded. Horseshoes and explodey things.
Yeah, an item called a hand grenade didn't technically exist, but grenades did. They've existed for almost 2,000 years. Just not in this part of the world.
Well, I'm going to say if the game is Big Scary Man tries to hit you and manages to bruise you, that counts as a hit.
Potatoes.
Well, I would suggest we go to Lucius, but I'm guessing he's with Miss Alice still trying to distract so that, you could get the information that's guarded by Mr. Giant over there.
Yeah,
so,
that was weird.
Why don't we go back to the inn or something? You can relax and rest up, and then when Lucius is finished, he can heal you, and you could not whine about it.
Yeah, just to be clear, because of the way that... Oh, I'm sorry. Finish off that. I cut off and excuse me.
I don't want.
Give me it again with the finger. We'll fix it in editing.
Excuse me. I do not whine. If anything, I make sure not to whine. I just don't want people fixing what don't need to be fixed. So.
All right. I will concede. That way you don't whine. So we'll get Lucius to fix you so you're not an idiot. Is that better? More accurate?
It is definitely more accurate.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, you never had a big sister before, did you? You
Especially
got
not a
one
little
now.
big sister.
Yeah, they're the worst kind. So, just to get the timeline straight, this happens very early on. Lucius and Sarah are still very much getting the patent thing. I mean, this thing in the house lasted 2 minutes. The patent takes an hour. Baptiste's performance is sort of like 20 minutes minimum. So the two of you still are, like, if you head back to the inn, you'll be the first ones there.
The only other thing I wanted was I just wanted to swing by and ask the sheriff about this kid.
Mm-hmm. So as you walk into the sheriff's office, which is right there, and right across the street from the inn. So
I have a lot of respect for you, so I naturally give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say you probably don't have any idea who Ricky is.
What?
Giant scary guy about yay high?
Yeah.
Like a vampire?
What she said. Mr. Thomas has another individual living in his home. Made my job very difficult, if you catch my drift.
You went in and they saw you.
Yes, but I was also not informed there was anyone else in that home.
That's fair enough. I don't think it's technically illegal what he did, unless he's keeping that person there against their will.
What do you mean? What
I can certainly go have a word. It's not illegal to have someone in your house and not tell nobody.
Well, who is he?
I don't know. I'm definitely going to go have a word, but if they saw you in that house, we might have some trouble. I told you I didn't want to have to arrest you.
Yep, I'd really prefer for it not to come to that either, but I do have a feeling that the mere fact that Mr. Martin has someone in his house he doesn't want anybody else knowing about might be just enough to keep that out of the conversation.
It's more than that. The guy in there seemed terrified of anything outside. As soon as you opened the door, he just closed it. Like he was terrified of going outside. He must have no idea who you are. He has no idea who any of us is. I don't think he's been outside in years.
I don't know much about that gentleman in that house other than that he's I don't know how to put it lightly, but he might need, someone looking after him, but I don't know. It still don't seem quite right what's going on, whatever, and it seems like nobody around here even knows he exists.
Well, you leave me this one. I'm gonna go put set a little fire under Thomas. You know he don't like being called that. I'm gonna go set a little fire under Thomas today. Maybe put him off his lunch a little bit. I think we can keep this quiet. But it kind of puts a kibosh on the plan to getting any evidence out of that house.
Yeah. I can't think of any way to get around it unless, there's any real reason to get that boy out of the house.
Well, you leave that with me. I'll see what I can do. Thank you for coming to me with this and not just running off and shit. You earned that badge, son. You're good at this.
I'm
You
glad
didn't hurt this man, did you?
No, sir. He and I kind of pull my shirt buttons open, and I was like, he very nearly hurt me. And I there was a time I attempted to simply subdue him, but it did not work. So I just peeled out of there. I was not going to assault someone in their own home.
You say this. His eyes, after they look down, they don't come back up. Like they're just staring at your chest, and you look down, and that bruise has gone that very special purpley yellow color. Like it's going to really hurt when the shock wears off. And at the top of it, it is so clearly just like a knuckle print. You can almost see the shape. And he looks, and he's doing the math because this knuckle is this wide. And he looks up at you, and he respects you as a tough hombre. And he looks a little worried, and he says, "You don't suspect that fella's in there by himself now, do you?"
He'd have to be.
Then maybe I better have this conversation with Thomas at the office. And he stands up and puts on his hat, gives you one more look at this huge bruise on your chest, and excuses himself, unless there's anything else.
Oh, sir.
Son, you look like you could use a nap.
Always.
And he reluctantly, you can tell from the way he walks out the door, he's very reluctant to do what he's going to do, and you can see the wheels spinning. He's trying to figure out how to have this conversation.
I just hiss at Jett as soon as he leaves. Clipped.
If he would have hit me, I wouldn't have come out that door. He clipped me.
Well, that's bad enough for Lucius to take a look at it.
That's fair. I don't know how he's going to fix a bruise, but,
He might be able to at least help take the edge off so you're not in pain every time you walk or breathe.
That's fair. It's a little tight. It's, it's starting to, yep.
That
Now,
was
let me
I
take
just
you
rolled
to
that.
the
That
end.
was the damage on the next one. Just if there had been a next one.
I don't like your alternate realities, Kevin.
That doesn't, yeah, nope. That's a lot.
I would have been a pulp in the corner.
Yep, and they never would have found you. Ricky Martin would have ended yet another career besides his own. So, with that,
I'm dragging him back to the inn
yeah,
now.
like right across the street, right
Yes.
into the inn. It's lunch, so food's coming up, just banging plates up on the counter. You guys, if you haven't realized it yet, about 24 hours ago, you stopped having to pay for anything in this town. They haven't asked you to pay for any of your meals. They haven't asked you to pay for your hotel rooms. Nothing. And dinner's just slid across the table to you. or lunch,
So,
depending on where you're from.
Jett, can you explain exactly why it is that we're looking into this man? I know you said that you were hired to do it, but why? What's he done?
And I'm just kind of like, just got one hand over my belly, my guts, and I'm just like, the sheriff, I don't know why I said the man, has reasonable suspicion, and I assure you, I verified with him before I even accepted or considered accepting that it is a very reasonable suspicion that this man was not only connected to the cult and cultists that brought about Baphomet the first time, but also that he may have been involved in some forgery of some documents that may have led to the death and complication of a Mr. Alan Campbell, whom we were working for from the moment we set foot in this town. So, I think that's about it. Sorry, I'm still a little woozy.
Is all good. The only thing I will add to that is that Festus Cooter had been ripped off by this person. That's why he asked you to investigate. This was another miner who had his paperwork forged. It said he sold a mine for $2,000 when he never did.
That too.
This mine, I swear, it's at the center of all of our problems.
I've been saying blow it up since we got here.
I mean, there may be a much simpler way of dealing with the man than sneaking around, breaking into his house.
Wasn't breaking if you go through the wall?
I do believe that the term is loosely applied to entering a domicile without consent.
Where was this
break and enter?
Baptiste?
But it was definitely enter.
Where was this Baptiste this morning? I mean, I'm happy to go talk to the gentleman, and I'd love it if you did, because you seem to have that knack for making people shake in their boots, even if there's nothing to shake about. But I'm just looking for a reason, a solid, concrete reason to bring this man in, because if he's doing what they say he's doing, then that ain't right. So,
Well, we're gonna have to find a different way now, because there's no way you're getting anything in that house while the guard dog's there.
yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. Hmm?
I was just wondering if I'm there with this conversation. Leading?
Yeah, this is around. This is how I am with timelines. You guys get back, and yeah, this is a conversation that can be had all around. This is you guys over lunch.
So, how badly were you hurt this time?
Yes, please patch him up.
You can actually see it, because I've got those little tiny sewing kits that people carry around. I've got one of those that I've got in my pocket pulled out, and I'm just stitching back on buttons.
Stop. You're gonna ruin it. Stop. I bring out my little sewing kits, because I'm no stranger to sewing.
In an ivory box with 3 layers. You open it up and the lid goes dunk, dunk,
Sewing one-upsmanship.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Baptiste brings out one of those Danks cookie boxes full of buttons.
It's a very Asian thing to do too.
Fine, Alice brings out a new picture.
Of a sewing kit, and
It's a moving sewing kit.
This is the other half of the pictures that she sent in.
Anyway, how about I fix your shirt, also fix you up, and I'm gonna hate to say I told you so, but didn't I say something about, I don't know, disguising yourself? I don't know. But hey.
Snotty Undertaker. Whew.
To be fair, I don't really think being disguised would have fixed this.
True.
It seemed pretty non discriminatory.
But he wouldn't know what you look like.
But your identity would have been safe. You gotta be ahead.
Man, I'm the ideas guy. I came up with something and everybody was like, yeah, let's do that. I'll do this and you do that. And then we come back and it's like, I should have told you. I don't need it. If you want to help me, you can help me. If you want to be short with me about it, then be short. But I did my best like I always do.
Yes, and you're welcome for helping you.
Yeah, thank
Apparently
you very
being hit in
much.
the belly concussed him. It even changed his accent. That's really...
Yeah, he's having a hard time.
He's so angry, he's sassy.
We've reached to this point.
He's offended.
And and drooping over the table. What your wind comes back in sort of 10 to 15 minutes, so you'd be feeling better by now. But you'd still got that sort of crust of dried sweat on you, and the fear, that post-fear thing, that parasympathetic crash. There's my Psych 101 coming back. Ooh. Yeah, that reaction after the stress when you crash. Yeah, you're sitting at the table just shoveling in food, trying to feed it with calories.
I'm gonna ask the barmaid if I can get a glass of milk and a cloth with some water.
And she grins at you, and without even looking down, she reaches down and pulls out this flask in a bucket of cold water, and it's got 2 liters of milk in it. And she grins at you and she says, "We got a cow." And she pours you a big glass of milk and puts it back in under the counter, and then gives you the cloth as well.
And cloth with some water?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of start wiping off his face a little bit, and if he kind of looks, just be like, "You smell disgusting," and just wipe off him a little bit.
As she says it, you get that because scent is the sort of the ultimate memory. It's the thing that tends to reflect memories. As she says that, you smell his breath and his reek right up your nose. It's like those last little 4 particles that were in there, just right up to your brain to remind you. And she just keeps wiping you down.
Giuseppe, why don't I fix you up? Come up to my room and I'll... Hey, am I the only person with somewhat medical knowledge in this town right now?
Yes. Yep. Since the doctor's gone, you are probably the most qualified.
Stabbing yourself does not count as medical knowledge, Jett.
No, I'm drawing a distinction here between magical healing, which he can do, and actual skill, the medicine skill.
Lucius went from having no jobs to having 2 jobs.
He's got 2 jobs.
He's the doctor.
I got 2 jobs, man. Oh,
here's what I'm thinking.
That was a candy. I got 2 jobs, man. That was the ad.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think I'll offer my services at the doctor's office just until they find a temporary one.
Yep.
So I'm going to talk to the sheriff or whoever can telegram a doctor to come into town.
Yeah, the person to talk to would probably be the sheriff. So time-wise, you kind of catch him as he's walking down the street. He says, actually, come with me for a second. And he runs back to the sheriff's office. And he says, "We can't use the doctor's place. It's wrecked." But he says, "When you hear this," and he pulls this little trumpet out from his desk and blows 3 quick blasts on it, just meep, 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 like the first S on SOS. He says, "When you hear that, you come here. It means I need somebody stitched up."
Okay, I can do that. I don't have a lot of work right now in the graveyard. So...
Don't say that. Don't say that, son.
Yeah. Alice would also like to mention or ask if anybody ever got the bodies out of the secret.
I think I mentioned that I grabbed them.
Okay.
A couple times.
Yeah. You have been very assiduous about this. You took the bodies out of the bar when they died. You took the bodies out, from the basement of the doctor's place. I remember you saying that. So, yeah. That part you've been sticking to very well. You've only occasionally drifted away. So.
It sounds like dinner, or this is lunchtime, right?
This is
lunch, yeah.
Is kind of breaking up.
More or less, yeah.
So hearing what's going on with Martin, what's his name? Mr. Martin?
Yeah, Thomas is the...
Thomas Martin.
The older man.
Baptiste is actually gonna wander by the notary public or whatever,
down to
whatever it
to the
is,
survey office. Absolutely.
and just paying some attention to the badge and see if it has any reaction to Martin.
God damn it!
Not as such. He appears to be a very mundane evil. There's nothing supernatural about him.
Okay.
Yeah. So with you standing outside his office and the conversation just having finished in the street and Jett having his brow mopped by his older sister, apparently. She has adopted him because he won't take care of himself. With Miss Alice awash in thoughts of money and fame.
Yeah, she's like sitting at the table. She pulled it out before they left.
Yeah.
So if they looked, they would have seen it. But she's like sitting at the table looking at this picture that she just.
This is like Ansel Adams, but it moves. Right? This is that level of art. And with you all kind of getting caught for a second as she goes, that's where we will call tonight. It's not exactly a cliffhanger, but it's a good a spot as any. So Marty
Marty needs to settle down a little bit. He got him a little riled up earlier. But that's cool because I wanted to jump in and say some things. First off, if you like these portraits on our new art here, you can thank Thunderscape. You can check out her Twitch. If you check down our panels under the art panel, her link is there. So check her out and see what else she's got coming around. Speaking of things we've got coming around, you may have noticed we're kind of on hiatus from the Avalon Knights Academy shows, but we do have, these guys insisted on getting going right away again. So we are rolling right back into Deadlands, and we will be rolling out regularly on Tuesdays. We will have other things popping up here and there. So if you haven't followed, make sure to give us a follow because some of it's going to be scheduled, some of it's going to be kind of short notice. Another good way to keep track of that stuff is to join us in Discord. But we also have ongoing efforts like our Extra Life campaign. We're trying to raise $500 from our community to donate to Extra Life. If you're not familiar with Extra Life, they work with Children's Miracle Network to help research and help kind of the families of childhood. It's Extra Life. Go look it up. Like you're on Twitch. It's kind of thing. But if you donate $10 or more, you will actually be entered into a drawing. And if you win, you will get Puck as a private DM for you and your friends. And you will also be joined by the player of your choice from any of our shows. So there's that prize to look forward to. Also check out our Patreon because some of the stuff that we're doing over the break is kind of one-shots that are being recorded and will be edited and put out on YouTube. So that's another thing. Follow us on YouTube, which we'll get to talking about everybody, and I'm sure Jett will mention that. But if you want to see those ahead of time, kind of the raw footage of some of those, joining our Patreon for as little as $1 at the Goblin level will get you access to all that fun stuff. And yeah, I think that's enough messages for me for now. So I'll give it.
All right. And those one shots are a blast. Playing with the fans is such a good time. You spoke briefly of the YouTube channel. I want to chuck this over to our YouTube artiste. You know him as Jett on Tuesday nights. You know him as Penn on Monday nights. We know him as Sky all the other nights. Bring us up to date on what's going on over there on the tube of the U.
So speaking of one-shots, we just today got our Halloween one-shot loaded up. Tricks for Toots. I want to say that it's not full of inappropriate jokes, but I actually don't because it is, and it's hilarious. So go check that out.
Rude. Yes.
That's got Kevin DMing it. It's also got Dawn and a few of the other players from our other games. So go check that out. We have all our other stuff there. We also have Geese Thieving Bastards in the one-shot playlist. So go check that out if you want to just go see some fun one-offs. And we're constantly updating stuff there. So just go check us out to catch up on Too Many Warlocks or Mercenaries of Mischief or all of it. So woo.
Yeah, if you want to see the exact opposite of the way I DM, these guys on Tuesdays watch either one of those one shots. We've got some other content creators and such here. Why don't we let Sarah tell us about a little more about the Avalon Knights Academy, what's going on there, what the plans are, what we know about season 2.
Avalon Knights. Okay. First of all, I just want to say I miss Gilbetta.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
We will be coming back for season 2 on February 2nd and 3rd. If you want a little bit of holiday cheer, we just had our holiday special on Sunday. It was a fun time with just some role play. I think there were like maybe 4 dice rolls. Was there 2 dice rolls?
I think there was only 2.
Yeah. And like one of them, I'm convinced that Redan just wanted to roll a dice.
Yes, he was not going to let us go 3 hours without rolling a die.
Yeah. So I can't wait till we're back. We are coming back. Season
with
2
bells on and
is
whistles.
Gonna be ramping things up. I cannot wait
I
to see what Sean has.
and I do say almost, I almost feel sorry for Puck because he's going to have 8 players coming back at him with their teeth out and their claws out. Just, we want to play. So that's going to be great fun.
Yeah.
We do have another content creator on board here. I saw you just put out a very interesting topic today or yesterday, Ryan, over on Roll for Initiative.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of that video. It's taking a look at what running a campaign when you know that it's sort of a mini campaign. You only have about 6 sessions, and so what can you as a GM do to really set yourself up to do that well? And so I kind of have like 4 tips for doing that, which hopefully pay attention to the Roll for Initiative Twitter and the Avalon Knights Twitter. That whole idea of getting to watch a special mini campaign might be something that's coming up pretty soon. Who knows? Teaser.
Oh, those are so much fun because there's some responsibility. In a one shot, you don't care, right? Because your character is done in 3 hours, so you don't care.
Right,
but in
exactly.
6 episodes, you sort of thinking, I can't be crazy yet. I can't be crazy. Okay, now. So, yeah, I was very happy to see that one. That's something not a lot of people do, and it's a really neat idea, especially because what's the number one complaint? I can't get everybody together every week. But if you can get everybody to commit for 6 weeks, that might be a little easier.
Yeah.
So with that, keep an eye out on this channel, on the Mercs of Mischief channel. Stuff is coming over the course of the next month. We return business as usual starting in February. I almost forgot one more thing that I'm doing. The 23rd of this month, Thursdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So that starts at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Me and 3 of my friends who are not directly associated with the Avalon Knights, although you'll probably recognize 2 of them from our fan base, are going to be joining me to play a co-op version of Ironsworn, which is a game specifically designed for co-op play. There's no GM, so I don't get to sit in a fancy box in the corner. All 4 of us are going to tell the story together. That's happening over on Dirty 20 Gaming, a Twitch channel which does not technically exist until tomorrow morning. So check that out starting tomorrow and get ready for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. With that, I want to thank all my fellow storytellers. I missed you guys so much. I mean, Christmas and New Year's, that was nice. That was wonderful. Knocking the rust off the first half of tonight was a little, we got it. But thank you very much to Ryan, Hannah, Sarah, Sky, and Sam. I'm Kevin. This is the Mercs of Mischief, and we'll shoot you next week. Good night.
This is a song about Nate the Necromancer. All the ladies loved him, he was a romancer. Wing Wong Wombi is a skeleton and zombie, and the ghoul and the gasp and the vampire song. Nate got married to his goth girl wife.